Good morning, you beautiful soul. Oftentimes we wait. We find ourselves waiting for other people to give us permission, give us answers, give us access to things that we could really get on our own. And I'm going to talk about the importance of spending time with yourself because a lot of times we find ourselves waiting for permission for things that we already have access to. It's just in our minds or in cultures or society and how we've been brought up. We've been taught to believe that other people hold that power over us or they hold that information about us, right? But what happens when you start to study yourself? When you get a degree in you, in who you are, who you've been, what lights you up, where your power resides. Where your power resides, where your confidence resides. What does that look like for you? It's different for all of us. When I was in the military as a private, I remember I had a Sergeant First Class Robinson, and he was the one who really imprinted on me, and he wasn't even my platoon sergeant. He was another platoon sergeant, but he was this really quiet, calm, collected, but like serious force. And I was really goofy at that point. Like I was a mess. I was private. But he really instilled a lot of things within me by the way he showed up, by the way he engaged with other people, by the way that, he would ask questions and then he had this pause after the question that made you like have to think and do the work because he wanted to empower you when he wasn't around to do those sorts of things, right? So I've kind of integrated that into how I show up for other people too, because the point is to create other leaders, to create people who feel empowered in exploring things. And so I want to bring that up today because when someone says no, or when someone doubts you, that's an expression of their limitation. That's an expression of their lens, what their experience, right? Or how far they're willing to go to find the answer. But it doesn't have to be yours. I was looked at like many different things during my military career, and then when I transitioned and I decided to try the civilian corporate world for a little while, like an overachiever, all of this stuff. And it was just like, no, just because one person says no or says they don't know, that doesn't mean that that's where it ends. It means you go and you find the answer, or you find another way, or you find someone else who has the access to it. And I'm not talking about it in like this sneaky roundabout way, but like we all understand that some people like to work within their energy levels rather than the scope of their responsibilities. So if that's the case, like that shouldn't limit you. If someone doesn't have the ability or the capacity to help and support you in the way that you're seeking, there's someone else that does. So why not find that? And when you take the time to get to know yourself and understand where your power resides, and there's a point to all of this, I promise, that's when you really understand how to operate in a way that fuels and motivates you. It inspires you. It allows you to jump out of bed with excitement for what it is that you're about to do for the day, right? And a lot of times people are waiting for someone who has no intention and no desire to do the work for you, to give them permission to be great. But I'm telling you, give yourself the permission to be great. Give yourself permission to be who you came here to be in this world. And you do that by spending time with yourself, understanding, having conversations with people who are willing and able to hold space for you, building that community, right? Building that aligned community. And it's a really beautiful thing when you allow yourself to have it, when you allow yourself to experience that. So why not? Like, when you are able to do that, then you can see that they never held the power, that you've always held the power. You've always held the power. It's just about your awareness of that and what it looks like for you, because some of us work really well with facts, right? Which for me, it goes back to my time in the military, and having what they call the TMs and the FMs, the manuals and things of that nature, for the rules, for the operating procedures, for how to use something, and me being able to tap into those resources to feel confident, to try, to do, to show up, right? Because I was in a very male-dominated field. And so having that in my back pocket was comforting, because I was like, okay, well, I know that in black and white, I have this, so I can show up with confidence. I can show up and I can try and I can fail and I can do it again. And it's not about just being out there with no guidance, which is kind of why a lot of people don't try, because they don't realize that there are resources out there to empower them, which is why I hold the spaces that I hold. It's to allow you that space and support and community to explore who you are, who you want to be, and practice showing up. These little flies out here today are getting me. So I just wanted to share that, because I feel like it's really important for you to know that the way or how you tap into your power may be different from how I tap into my power and confidence and all of that. And that's okay. We're all supposed to be unique. We're all supposed to do our own thing, right? But give yourself an opportunity to do it. Because if you don't, well, there's a bunch of people in this world waiting for you to show up. They'll eventually make their way to where they're going, but the lessons that you could teach them along the way that would possibly help them speed up their process, or bypass some lessons that maybe they don't need because you have an expertise in. Kind of a disservice not to do that, don't you think? So I'm sending all of you a lot of love today. I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend. And as always, soulpreneurlifellc.com has the Work With Me tab, has all of the information about Mia, Mindset, Illumination, Acceleration, and Akashic Record sessions, and one-on-one intuitive spiritual coaching, and all of that goodness on there. But spend some time with yourself today. And who knows? See what happens. All right, sending you lots of love. Bye.